right, what is up, guys? Welcome back to this episode of the Road to Redemption podcast. I am, as always, your grateful host, Cam Williamson. Good to be back with you, baby. Man, it's been a minute. It's been a little bit of a minute, like over a month, right? I'm not going to put that up. I know people don't like it when I do that. What's up, man? Had a bunch of people been like, Cam, when are you going to do a show? I'm like, hey, I got nothing to talk about. Life has been relatively uninteresting, right? I got everything figured out. Like, I started taking my meds, which is good. I got a good mixture of my meds. Was feeling good. Started a new job where actually in that span of time where I was on my new meds, I won a few awards. I was the top salesperson in our entire company for the month of December, and I was actually led our store from being like number 6 to number 1 in the company. So that was cool. Then I ran out of my meds. That was not cool. Felt like shit for about a week. Called the VA, tried to do everything I could. Hey, I'm out of my meds. I'm a fucking idiot. I let them run out. I've never done this whole meds thing before. I don't know how to like refill them on time. Can you help me? They go, no, we can't. You have to wait another month for your appointment. Your doctor has to sign off on your prescription again. I'm like, well, that's unfortunate. So, if you guys have ever started a new med, specifically a mental health med, it's not fun to come off of those. You feel like garbage, and it made work and daily life very difficult for a couple days. I got through that, got back to my regular thing. Sorry if the air is kicking on and you guys can hear it and it's super loud. It's crazy cold outside, and I'm not turning my system off because it's cold. What else is going on? Not much, man. I work all the time. When I'm not working, I'm with one of my kids, and on like the rare one night a week that I get where I just get to sit and chill, I try to do this. And then I sit down and I'm like, I don't have much to say. Not that I think people would want to hear. And after talking to a few people, they're like, man, just do what you've always done. Get on there and talk about life. Talk about what you're going through. Talk about your frustrations and how you're kind of moving through those. So I go, okay, we can do that. Honestly, man, like for the last month and a half, 2 months, things have been pretty good. Nothing raving to talk about. I'm still a guy who hangs out and minds my own business and, goes to work, hangs out with my kid, but nothing tragically is falling apart right now, which is nice. That is nice. And sometimes, you have to just protect those times. And I'm learning that I protect my peace the best when I just mind my own business, right? Like, I'm not so eager to have people in my space, and I'm not so eager to go put myself in situations where I'm around a bunch of other people. That's never really been me, and I've tried to kind of branch out of that and see if I could find a part of myself out in social situations. It's just not who I am. I like to sit at my house. I like to mind my business. I like to, engage with the people I like to engage with. And outside of that, I do my own thing. Does that mean that I'm perfectly happy with it all the time? No, it sucks. There's, when you go to sleep alone at night, that still sucks as a human. You want to not do that. But I've learned over 32 years, just having someone around doesn't fill the void you feel when you're alone. You could have the wrong people around, and then you're still like, damn, I wish I was sitting by myself right now. But sometimes you do have people in your life where they do fill that void, and time kind of goes by faster when you're with them and stuff like that. It's nice to be able to spend quality time with my kids and not have to focus on every second and how it's being planned out and stuff like that. I just get to sit and be their dad. And both my kids are at a really cool place where right now they want their dad. And they want to know like who their dad is, what makes me me, and how can they incorporate some of that into them, the parts that they look up to, and then how can they not incorporate the parts of me that they don't look up to so much. And that's kind of cool to see. It hurts a little bit when you see them pick and choose parts of you that they like and they don't like, but it's all a part of growing up. I try very hard now to just focus on the things I can control. I try very hard right now to just, honestly, it may sound simplistic, but just keep putting one foot in front of the other. Make sure you get up and go to work the next day. And yeah, it sucks out here. Like, I work outside and it's fucking cold. It's 4 degrees with a negative wind chill of like -6. So it's fucking cold. And one thing I try to tell my guys at work is like, yeah, and I learned this from the military, like, yeah, we can sit around and complain about it. We can. It's not going to make it warmer. So like us bringing up how cold it is every 2 minutes is not going to change the temperature. And we are going to still be here for as long as we're going to be here. So we would serve ourselves better to not sit here and reminisce on how shit this is, because it is. It actually is. And as I said that, I almost like had flashbacks to a moment in my life where I'm like, this is so tough right now. Like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. I have no idea. And you sit and you ruminate on it. This sucks. I want this to be different. I wish things could have been different if I would have just done this. And you go, you're bringing old shit up every 2 seconds and expecting it to change. It's not going to change. Just like the cold outside. It's not going to change right now. And you're in it right now. And it sucks. And it's painful. And it hurts. And it's uncomfortable. And like, if you don't learn to just sit in that, and you don't need to broadcast to the entire world how cold it is, how hurt you are, how sad you are, how whatever. I'm not saying if you're in dire needs, don't talk to people. But I am saying sometimes we overanalyze a situation into ad nauseum, where you ruminate on something for so long when you knew the answer years ago, months ago, days ago, weeks ago, hours ago, whatever it was. You knew what the answer was. You chose not to accept it, which is, when you have to work outside in the cold, it's cold outside, and you have to still go to work. Nothing is worse than watching someone sit in a state of denial, right? You're there for 8 hours, you know that, and they're going to sit there and be like, this sucks, I wish they would just close. It's like, they're not gonna. They're not going to. So, like, I get this is your little shrivel of hope you're trying to keep in your head, but it's not going to happen. We're going to be here, and it's going to suck for a while. So, let's move on. It's not as easy when you're dealing with personal, turmoil, where like you're dealing with something from your past and you go, why I can't just shake this. This sucks. This shouldn't be this way. And you go, but guess what? It is. It is. And it's going to be. So move on. Move on. Stop doing the same shit all the time. Quit sitting around waiting for shit to just miraculously show up at your doorstep and change. It's not going to happen. And I think once you get real with yourself and stop being so romantic with yourself, which is like life is this big romantic movie that things happen miraculously and the sudden life changes happen on a dime, they usually don't. Most of the time, the massive changes that come in our life come from putting your head down and focusing for an indefinite amount of time that is not going to be fulfilling for your current impulse desire, which makes it tough to sustain, because you have your good days where you feel like doing stuff and doing all the right things, and then you have a bad day where you slip back into old habits and doing stuff like that. All I can tell you, man, is keep putting that other foot in front of the other one. Show up. And show up at the best of your ability. Be there when people need you to be. And more importantly than that, be there for yourself when you need yourself. Tell people, no, not today. Today is my day. I need to recharge. I can't today. I can't. As much as I may want to, I can't. Or, yes, I'll be there. I know I'm not supposed to be. It's not scheduled for me to be. But, yeah, I got it in me today. I'll be there. You just got to be honest with yourself. And you got to, keep things as real as you possibly can. And that takes a lot of weight off you. You don't have to be a bunch of things for a bunch of people that aren't even asking you to be that. And then when you're gearing up to be the person you need to be for the people that are asking of you, you have to know what that takes, which takes a lot of self-inventory. You got to be good with sitting by yourself and going, hey, man, this is what I got to do, whatever that looks like. And you tweak and, change things as you feel like you may need to, but don't ever let people change who you are. Remember, every person that's ever come into your life and stayed for an amount of time, they saw something in you that they loved. And they saw something in you that was valuable. And that's still in there. Even if you're, struggling right now, you're going through challenges, you don't know quite what to do. Return to the heart of yourself and remember who you are, what you're willing to do for other people, what you're willing to do in this life, and kind of reset your eyes on the goals you always had for yourself. Not for yourself and somebody else, not for yourself and your family. What do you want for your life? Ask yourself this question before you go to bed tonight. If you had a happy life, if you had a life that you didn't stress and that you didn't wake up wishing things, what would that look like? what would that honestly look like? And we talk about that a lot on this show. Like, what would you have to change? Would it be the people in your house? Would it be the way you talk to yourself? Would it be your job? Would it be the way you eat? The hobbies you have? The fact that you have no hobbies? Like, what would you change about yourself to wake up tomorrow happy? Once you can answer yourself that question, you've got a lot to work with, because then you kind of have a roadmap you can start to build. This might take this long to achieve. This might take this long to actually be able to leave this job. Maybe I could do this and work on this relationship, or maybe I've done enough and it's time to cut tail and go, right? That's what I'm going to leave you guys with today. A little, ease back into this. The camera already reset once, and I'm going to have to edit that. It's been a while, so, this episode will come to you guys later tonight. It's Thursday. It's Thursday evening. It's about 4:20. So I'm really hoping you guys have this in front of your face by 7:30, 8 o'clock tonight. I hope you guys know I do miss you when I'm not posting and stuff like that. I still think about you. I miss you guys. I wish I had more to say. I just really don't. So if you guys have questions, if you have things you want me to cover, I'm not doing politics. I don't want to talk about Luigi Mangione. I don't want to talk about the California fires. All those things are terrible. And that's not in my wheelhouse of things that I choose to focus on. So if you guys want to talk about mental health, relationships, trending topics that are possibly even fun to talk about, you guys want to talk about sports, I've been watching a lot of football recently, we can do that. Let me know, and I will be on here as much as you guys want to see me. I love you. I'll see you in the next one.